Hello, in this video I'm going to show how to set up schedules for work order management and open and close work orders. So first I'm going to click on the Maintenance tab, then the Schedules button. Next I want to go up to the top corner and press Schedule and add a name. I'll say Oil Change 12,000 kilometers. I'll go ahead and add this. And first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and add a frequency. In this situation I'm going to choose by distance and by repeating every 12,000 kilometers. Next, I want to go ahead and actually add assets to this by pressing this button in the top corner to add an asset. I'm going to go ahead and search up my Subaru, and I'm going to add this. Next, I want to go ahead and add my last maintenance date. I'll simply toggle this switch, press Edit, and I can actually choose the last maintenance date that this was completed on. For my instance, I'm going to pretend like I've never had a maintenance done, so I'm going to go back and when I first installed my Geotab device in early 2024. My odometer value this time was 0, my engine hours was also in 0. I'll go ahead and I'll save that, and that'll be added here below. Now I can simply save this work order management schedule. Now opening the Maintenance tab and Work Order Management, we will see that I now have an option to add a work order for my Subaru car for an oil change every 12,000 kilometers. This is loading simply because it's still trying to generate the information that I provided to it. I will now press anywhere on this line, which will open a new option on the right hand side. What I can do now is I can actually choose to skip this work order entirely. I can snooze this for 1 day, 7 days, or 30 days, meaning that this will come back after that timeline has been met, or I can create a work order from this. I'll go ahead and press this work order button. Doing so will load up a new page specific to a work order. As you see, it will also add a job. If you have other jobs you'd like to also complete under this work order, you can simply add all pending or add them individually here. What I then want to do is choose the due date. I'll say the due date is going to be today. And I can even choose the date that it was been completed. This will obviously adjust based on the odometer and engine hours from the day. What I then want to do is I actually want to open up the job immediately because maybe this has already been done and I want to mark that immediately as completed. I'll simply press the job. It will prompt me if I want to leave my unsaved changes, and in this case I will. This will now open up a new tab. What I can also do now is change the status from open to completed. I can say this job was started earlier this week and has been completed today. As you see, the odometer value and engine hours automatically update based off the odometer reading from the Geotab device. I can then add in any scheduled work that's been completed and even add in some system codes as well, also providing additional information here. If you really want to dial it in, you can even add the amount of hours and the cost associated. This will help with reporting later. If you have any additional notes or like to add photos or work order or invoices, you can do so here. After I've set this to complete, I can go ahead and save it in the top corner. As you see, the work order job went from open to completed. Since this is the only job associated to this work order, I can actually choose the due date, say the date complete, and I can actually go ahead and update all of my statuses here. I can say this job is no longer open, it has now been completed. It will mark it as complete. Once saved, the status will be locked and cannot be changed, basically letting you know that you cannot go back in and make further adjustments. Since I do sign off that this has been completed, I will say yes, and I can go ahead and save that in the top corner. Doing so will now lock the records. Going back to that work order management page, you will see that the 12,000 kilometers is now completed, showing that the next due date is in 12,000 kilometers from today's date, from my last maintenance date as well. If I go to my jobs, we can now also see that this 12,000 kilometer oil change was completed at today's date. Hopefully that helps. Thanks for watching.